Drake addresses all the people that's done turned their back on him, and also the people that stayed down with him.
For my family, for my friends, for all my collaborators, all the producers, all the other artists that I work with, you know, the ones that didn't turn pussy, I mean the ones that still real, you know, my real ones. But yeah, I appreciate you.
Yeah, Drake just so gangster. That boy so G. But yeah, this was on his last show in Brisbane. Now Drake had 4 more tour dates set up, but tickets weren't selling well, so you know how it go. He had to go and wrap that thing up.
Or this was officially canceled.
If you check the New Zealand ticket website today, for the Spark Arena Auckland shows, it now says no availability. And if you saw how many tickets left were there before, you'd know that this is not a good sign. There were heaps of tickets left. So no availability is definitely a sign that the New Zealand show is going to be cancelled. Once again, none of this is confirmed. Grain of salt, everyone. Anyway, so then I told this to the Discord.
Yeah, scheduling conflict makes no sense at all. You made this tour a year ago. Y'all set the dates for this tour a long time ago. So they're also saying that Drake didn't want to stay in Australia for 11 days and stuff like that.
Currently with Drake, the amount of losses he has been taking are coming in so fast that it's really impossible to keep up with all of them. But currently, what's most telling about just how bad everything has gone for Drake is the fact that with his current Anita Max Win Tour, which has been going on, Drake just canceled the remaining dates, and now more than numbers and all of the confusion about those could ever tell us, when you actually see why this tour was canceled, you will find out that Drake's career has never been more over. But now before we go any further into this, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It helps me out a ton, and now as Drake and OVO are trying to hide just how bad the cancellation of this tour has been, it has really never been more important to like and subscribe, as they don't want anyone. 4 of Drake's 16 sold-out shows in Australia and New Zealand will be postponed. Just with that line alone, we don't need to read any of the other false promises Drake put into this statement as a whole, because we see everything we need to know right within these few words. Because somehow, Drake and his team really sat down, and when they were trying to find a way to cover up why they are abandoning an entire tour, which is something Drake has never done like this in the past, somehow the best excuse they could have came up with is that they have a scheduling conflict. Which really, when you just think about these claims a little, they make absolutely no sense whatsoever, because when you understand how touring works and how much thought and planning goes into just booking and confirming when every show is happening, which in the entirety of the music industry is not just one of the most important aspects that keeps it running, but it's also one of the most well thought out and planned. This is just unheard of. You don't actually come up on a scheduling conflict this close to something happening, and making this all even worse, with an additional statement that someone from Drake's team and OVO ended up releasing following this, they claimed that the actual scheduling problem was that there was a 12-day gap between Drake's shows on the road, and because of this, Drake and everyone on the tour were not going to be able to stay there for this long with so much waiting time, so they just canceled it all together because it wouldn't make sense for them to stay out there. And I don't even.
Aren't you the one that made the schedule for the shows? So a whole year ago, you wasn't able to look at this calendar and say, okay, we're going to be there. We're going to have 12 days to chill. It probably was like, bet, I get to look around, get to go to the beach, whoop-de-whoop-whoop. You know, but come to find out, you down there and they playing not like us. Every time you turn around, you don't want to be there. You don't want to be there, man. But still, you could have flew to, I don't know, you could have flew to Taiwan or something. Flew to China, stayed there for a few days, come back. That's what I would have thought. Tasmania, shit.
Need to explain how this just makes no sense.
If they playing not like us in Tasmania, boy, that would be.
Because again, when you realize that Drake and his team booked this thing months in advance and knew the exact schedule they were going to be on, I mean, if this was just an issue, they could have moved the dates up a long time ago. So with that, how is this possibly an issue now when you had all of these months to prepare and figure out how to make the planning, timing, and traveling schedules of all of this work? And so really, when you just give all of this basic thought and understand that this entire claim from Drake and his team is not just a lie, but it's one of the worst cover-ups we have ever seen, which again is only confirmed reasons why Drake ended all of this so unexpectedly, which either way, no matter what the reality of the situation is, they are really just equally as bad, as they especially highlight how desperate this entire move from Drake always was, and how his career has never been more over, and over everything, how he does not care about bringing fans the his voice during his shows. Really, when you put all of that into context, Drake should not be surprised that in this time where he has never been lower in rap's power rankings, that this embarrassing excuse of a tour has done nothing to grow his fans or even make people want to go see these shows. And really, based on what we are seeing now, and really, as this outcome of what happened being so likely, we can say with a lot of certainty that the flop of this tour and these shows specifically was at least a leading reason for why this was all put to an end.
Greatest rapper of all time? Drake. Fight me.
Drake.
Yep.
Why is y'all hating on Drake because of the Kendrick
Who's
Lamar?
hating on Drake?
Yeah,
We're talking about GOATed here.
He's a GOAT with many GOATs. I'll say that.
Consistently for how long? Across genres.
I say Drake. GOAT rapper.
Drake.
In the last 15 years?
Yeah. What would you go with?
I'm going with Drake.
They try to make it seem like, oh, you can't like Drake. Oh, it's not cool to like Drake. Drake is Drake.
It's not a bad answer.
You said Drake?
Fight me. Fight me.
I'll second that.
Stop playing with that boy.
Goes into the untouchable category.
Okay, great. This is not
Him, Biggie, they go in
this is not untouchable talk. This is GOAT talk.
Greatest rapper of all time?
I've been touched
Drake.
twice.
Fight me.
Drake.
Yep.
Pause. Well, 3 times if you count Diddy. Forgot about Diddy.
Off because they have all these shows now that are canceled and they're trying to figure out what is happening because the reason that was given was just scheduling conflict and people are like, that makes no sense. What is a scheduling conflict? This is supposed to be a tour. Y'all supposed to have it together. They're like, he's not committed to his fans. They think that there's something underlying here. There's something really, really wrong. So we reached out to try and figure that out.
That's right.
So,
To who? What hour did you call?
Oh my gosh.
you know I don't reveal a source.
Okay. But it wasn't hour.
A source close to an hour.
So it's close to an hour.
Okay.
We reached out and I sent you the message of what they said, what they told me.
Oh, so it's a beige thing.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah, you know the brothers stick together.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Y'all probably call each other bros because y'all like not brothers.
No, they definitely call each other beige.
What are y'all talking about?
Okay, so they said, so what I'm told from a source is that everything is good, y'all. So y'all can relax on Drake. They just had a routing mess up towards the end of the tour. So basically, they had Drake doing 4 shows in 16 days. So essentially, if he had done that, he would have been sitting around in Australia doing nothing for 12 days. And that's a huge waste of money and time because you got to pay for his dancers, his production, his lighting crew. It's like there's a lot of overhead for the tour. So they just, scheduling conflicts. I'm assuming they're going to figure it out for the fans who didn't get to see the rest of the show.
That don't make any sense. So you said he'd have been sitting there for 12 days in between shows.
Yeah, I guess they weren't consecutive. So the way they did it was
They didn't know
spaced
that
out.
before they booked him?
That's why fans are upset and they're trying to figure out, well, what was the conflict? And that's why we're here answering what the conflict was.
Well, wouldn't you just fly home? If you got 12 days in between, go
Even
do
if
something
he
else?
flies
Australia's like a
home-
20-hour flight, 22-hour
That's
flight.
my point. There's nothing else you can go do
But
for 12 days?
it's not that easy, though, right? Because even
Don't
if
he got
Drake,
a plane?
But if Drake flies home, it's a 737, I believe, right? That don't
How much
fits how many
cost to
people.
fly that
He
home?
still has a whole production team. He has
Okay.
dancers. He has wardrobe. He has hair. There's a big. You ever been to a concert?
But the reality is he's coming home anyway then.
What do you mean?
Well, the tour's over. He doesn't have to sit
That's
there
what I'm
12
saying.
days.
He's
coming
coming
home.
He's
and
coming
he
home
can take
and
care
then,
of other business.
And when will the tour start back?
I don't know. They got to refund people their tickets and figure it out when they next have the dates. I'm sure when the tour dates are a little closer to each other.
I think it's more to the story. Suppression on the bridge,
Yo,
y'all.
shut up,
UMG is suppressing
Yo, shut
something.
The effective dates are going to be Brisbane. Am I saying that right?
What are those dates?
March 4th. Sydney was going to be March 7th. Auckland.
That's next week.
March 15th and 16th. They're looking ahead now. They're here.
That's 10 days apart from those 2 dates. And
Yeah, so
I guess they're going to try to get the dates closer to each other so they could just rock out closer and then don't have to worry about the time off.
Let me
Yeah,
see
they
when
said
Kendrick going off
we
script.
sincerely apologize for the inconvenience and appreciate your patience. Drake and the entire team have had an incredible time doing these shows and are excited to return soon. We look forward to sharing the rescheduled dates with you as soon as possible. So it will be rescheduled.
They'll probably make
They're
the
just
dates
trying to
closer,
figure
like
it
they
out. I
said.
don't know how an oversight like that happens though on a tour this big.
Exactly.
But I will say that. So fans have a right to feel how they feel, but at least we can fill them in on what's the tea, like what would happen.
All
So
right.
thank you for that.
Well, that
All
is
the big
just-
brothers out there supporting us.
That is Just With the Mess with Lauren LaRosa.
Wake that ass.
This shit crazy, man. I mean, is he lying to us or is he lying to us? I mean, come on now. The truth is, Kendrick Lamar getting on his ass. He probably tired of all the people down in Australia begging for money too. Look at this. So now people done got to wear the whole crowd of signs. Drake, help my mom buy a Birkin. Poppy, help pay off my mom's mortgage. I got hit by a car and I left the hospital to probably come to this show. Something us to Greece. Motherfucker begging for a trip to Greece. Drake, give my father a break. Help my boyfriend buy me an engagement ring. What the hell? What the hell? How much was y'all tickets? Because y'all got some good ass tickets. Right there next to the orange sign. Drake, need money for my bachelorette party in, I don't know. Better not be Dubai, no shit. Yeah, the whole shit turned into it was not a max win, fam. Still need a max win. But what y'all think about this shit, man? Leave a comment and hit the like button on your way out, and I'll catch y'all next time.